Hello everybody. In today's video I'm going to tell you guys about 5 different calisthenics sets that you can use to challenge yourself with some body weight basic exercises. There's going to be no weight required, just basic exercises. I'll just tell you guys different sets and different progressions that you can use to make those sets more difficult. Let's get into it. The first set type that I'm going to talk about is just basic sets and reps. When I say sets and reps, I mean things like 5 sets of 10, 10 sets of 15, 20 sets of 20. So the goal here is to hit a certain amount of volume and you try to stay with the same number of reps per set. Your interval, or the thing that you change, is your rest. So let's say you're doing 10 sets of 10 on pull-ups. The first few sets, you might have to rest 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. Later on, as you fatigue more, you have to rest a little bit longer. So you're doing a certain amount of volume, you have a certain number of sets, certain number of reps that you have to hit per set. I call this basic sets and reps. It's the most standard type of workout that you can do. Anybody can do this. It's very easy to scale it based on your experience level. If you're a beginner, you can do 10 sets of 3, 10 sets of 5, 5 sets of 10, anything. This is the most basic one. But if you keep doing only this, you're gonna get bored. So you have to create some variety in your training. That's why we're gonna talk about other set types as well. The second set type that I want to talk about is called pyramids, or some people also refer to this as ladders. Ladders and pyramids are when you increase reps every set. So the most basic ladder would be set 1, 1 rep, set 2, 2 reps, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once you reach a certain level where it gets very difficult, or if you fail on a rep, then you would come down the pyramid. So say you made it from 1 to 10, then you come down. You go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the way this works, you rest intuitively. You don't want to rest too long. You don't want to rest too little because you're going to fail too early. But the way you progress is every few workouts, you'll be able to hit a new step in the pyramid. So let's say you're doing pull-ups, your first pyramid, maybe you can make it to level 6. You'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets. On your 7th, you might not hit 7, and then you pyramid back down. So you do this for a while, and then you'll find that all of a sudden you could get set number 7. So over time, you want to progress higher and higher in the pyramid. So this is ladders or pyramids. This is actually a really, really fun way to train. It works really well if you have a buddy to train with, because then you guys can just use each other as a rest interval. You go, he goes, you go, he goes. Maybe you need to rest a little bit more as the sets get more challenging, but this is really fun. I do this quite a lot. So the second set type is pyramids. The third set type is down sets. Down sets sound really similar to a pyramid, but they're actually quite different and they feel very different on your body. With down sets, you don't start at the bottom, but you start at the top instead. So I really like to do 20 down push-ups as a warm-up. The way this works, you do 20 reps, 19 reps, 18 reps, and then all the way down to 1 or 0. The reason this is different than pyramids is because you could start with a much higher number than you would make it if you were pyramiding up and pyramiding down. So the intensity of down sets is quite a lot higher than pyramids. With down sets, the way you increase difficulty is by either doing them faster. So whenever I do a down set, I'll usually have a timer. I try to see how long it took me to do it. And then over time, I want to see some progression where the same number of the same down set number, so let's say 20 down, 25 down, 30 down, over time, I want it to be done faster and faster and faster. That means I'm resting less. So that's one way to progress. Another way to progress is just to start from a higher number. A good starting point for push-ups is 20 down. For pull-ups, I would start with 10 down. If you're a little bit more advanced, you can do 15 down. You can do 20 down. I've done 20 down once. 20 down is extremely difficult. Took me over an hour to do it. But these down sets are very, very challenging. They're very fun. I definitely recommend trying some down sets. Throw that into your mix with some basic body weight exercises. Set type number 4. We're talking about EMOM, every minute on the minute. This is very similar to set type number 1 because you are doing basic sets and reps, but the big difference here is that your rest interval is very short. So when I say every minute on the minute, I'm talking about you start your clock, you do your set, let's say you're doing 15 reps and it takes you 15 seconds. In the rest of that minute, there's only 45 seconds. So you're only resting 45 seconds. If you're doing 20 reps, maybe it takes you 25 seconds. Then you'll only have 35 seconds of rest. These EMOM sets are very challenging on your cardio and muscular endurance. And they're very, very fun. I definitely recommend doing these, but not if you're a complete beginner. If you're a complete beginner, you're not going to be strong enough to handle EMOM sets. So that's why I put it as number 4. A good thing to do for push-ups is maybe 15 reps EMOM. If you're much stronger, 20 reps EMOM, 25 reps EMOM. If you're elite, you probably don't need to listen to my video, but you can do something like 35 reps EMOM. It's a really great way to get a lot of volume in really fast. Your muscles fatigue, you sweat from the cardio. You can do pull-ups EMOM as well. You can maybe do 5 reps every minute on the minute, all the way up to 10 reps every minute on the minute. It's very challenging. Another bonus with EMOM is you don't really have time to fiddle around on your phone. EMOM workouts are very focused. You're just counting down the time. I use an app on my phone that tells me when to go. It's great. Really recommend doing some EMOM sets. There are a lot of videos on my channel of some EMOM workouts, and you can either use a stopwatch, you can use a clock, or you can just download an EMOM app. There are many of them, and give it a shot. I like doing EMOM for 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. I've gone as high as 40 minutes EMOM. That's very difficult, but you could give it a try. Just make sure that the reps that you select match your fitness level. For set type number 5, this is more of an intensity technique rather than volume sets. I don't do this very often, but once in a while I'll throw it in just to mix things up. So when I say drop sets, I'm talking about going down in difficulty between exercises. So let's say you're doing a pull day, you're doing your pull-ups, you're trying to work your back, biceps, rear delts. So maybe your first exercise, which will be the most difficult, will be muscle ups. So you start, you do as many muscle ups as you can. As soon as you finish, you shake it out a little bit, maybe like a 5-10 second rest, and then you go into your pull-ups. You do as many pull-ups as you can, shake it out, and then get into some inverted rows, and do as many inverted rows as you can. So that's what I mean by drop set. If you're in the weight room, you just reduce the weight, but we're talking about basic body weight training. You can't really reduce the weight of your body weight, but you can use easier variations. If you're doing a push day, you could start with something like dips, do as many dips as you can, then you go into push-ups, do as many push-ups as you can, and then maybe choose an easier push-up variation, like push-ups on an elevated surface, do as many as you can there. You can do the same thing for your legs too. This is actually a very effective way to fatigue your legs. So, if you don't want to do sets of 100 on your body weight squats, you can start by doing some step-ups to pre-fatigue your quads, immediately move into some lunges to fatigue the quads even more and get some glutes in there as well. And then finally, when your legs are already pretty fatigued, your cardio is on fire at this point, then you hit the squats. You'll find that the maximum number of squats that you can do will be substantially lower. So when you're doing these drop sets, you want to do multiple ones. Every 3 sets counts as 1 drop set. So depending on your fitness level, maybe you want to do 3 drop sets, maybe 5, maybe 10. It really depends. So those were the 5 main body weight only set types. We talked about basic sets and reps, pyramids, down sets, EMOM sets, and drop sets. I'm sure there are many more that I haven't thought of. If you do know some and you want to share, leave a comment below. Bodyweight training is very fun. You have to be creative to challenge yourself. Now, you could always add some weight, you could change leverage progressions, but it's not necessary. As you could see, there are many ways that you could just challenge yourself by manipulating very small training variables. So give him a shot. Let me know what you think. Enjoy your training and peace out.